Welcome back to more Let's Play Pokemon LeafGreen. Last time, we started our adventure as a Pokemon trainer, gathering all the necessary tools and giving good old Professor Oak a hand. Today, we're going to set out and really start making tracks on our journey. Ooh, a nice little Rattata. What a great first Pokemon to try to catch. So, let's show it off. Cabbage, give him a tackle. Hey, not bad. Now, I don't think we can safely give Rattata another tackle without taking it out, so that's just gonna have to do. Should you want to catch a Pokemon, press the bag command and scroll over to Pokeballs. This is a ball thrown to catch a wild Pokemon. It is designed in a capsule style. Very nice, and frankly, quite the iconic item. So, let's give it a try. Come on, baby. Nice. Gotcha. Rattata was caught. So, when you throw a Pokemon ball, there's a couple different things that can happen. If you throw it and you catch a Pokemon, it'll wiggle 3 times and click. Bada bing, bada boom, you're good to go. Otherwise, if it doesn't wiggle all 3 times, it'll break out. So keep that in mind. It's not always guaranteed. Some Pokemon are easier to catch than others, just as some Pokemon are much harder to catch than others. Notably, you also can't catch or steal other trainers' Pokemon, so don't try it. It's not a good idea and it'll waste resources. Still, whenever you catch a Pokemon, like Professor Oak said, their data will be added to the Pokédex. This is Rattata. It's number 19 in the dex. It's the mouse Pokemon, with a height of about an inch or so, or a foot. Either way, it has a weight of 7.7 pounds. You can even see its little footprint, and its quick little entry. Bites anything when it attacks. Small and very quick, it is a common sight in many places. Give a nickname to the captured Rattata? Frankly, I don't really plan on using them, so we'll pass. But you can nickname every single Pokemon you encounter. It's a lot of fun, and there are plenty of playthroughs where people make a real fun game out of naming Pokemon. Ooh, here's another new one, a Pidgey. Now, had we encountered a Rattata again, I would have pointed something out. Whenever you catch a Pokemon, a little Pokeball symbol will appear, I believe, under its name? Or maybe it's to the right of it. Point is, there'll be a symbol that notifies you, hey, you've already caught this Pokemon. That's how you know what you have and what you don't. So, let's try to catch that Pidgey, huh? Hey, not bad. Not bad at all. Pidgey's data was added to the Pokédex. Number 16, Pidgey, tiny bird Pokemon, also about a foot in height. Weighs about 4 pounds and has a Y-looking foot shape. It's a common sight in forests and woods. It flaps its wings at ground level to kick up blinding sand. Give a nickname to the captured Pidgey? Again, I don't think I see a need to. It's a phenomenal bird, and frankly, it'll serve you pretty well. Most people use a Pidgey for just about the entire game, or at least the Pidgey family. We have yet to see it, but one of the major things of Pokemon is that they evolve once they meet certain conditions. Some get stronger and evolve naturally. Others need a stone to be traded, you name it. There's probably a mechanic that features evolution. Ooh. Otherwise, another big thing too I haven't mentioned, whenever you catch a Pokemon, unlike the newer games in the series, you don't receive experience, so keep that in mind. Otherwise, Cabbage grew a level, gained 2 HP, attack, defense, special attack, and special defense, and 1 speed. Not bad. And they learned Leech Seed. So, as you level up, not only do you get stronger, but you can learn new moves as well. This is very useful. Leech Seed is a pretty darn good move, and frankly, it's one of the reasons I like Bulbasaur so much. It's a super tanky little fella that can really get you through a lot of tough situations. Otherwise, let's stop by the good old Poké Center. After all, healing is free. so may as well. I don't think I'm gonna voice Nurse Joy every single time we meet her, because frankly, I'm gonna lose my voice doing that. But for every new NPC we meet, I'll at least try to voice them. Still, don't expect much for Nurse Joy. We're gonna be healing so often throughout the game that, admittedly, that's really gonna be a bad idea for me to do. Ooh, what's up here? It doesn't look like a whole lot. Ooh, there is a hidden little item, though, in the form of a Pokeball. If you see one of these, try to find it and pick it up. Ooh, inside was a potion. Very nice. Also, frankly, I want to say that the fast text might be a little too quick for me to narrate and for people to read, so we'll just put it on medium and keep it there. Normally, I like the fast text because I'm not always reading things out loud, but for the sake of convenience, we'll put it there. And hold on a sec, Route 22? That can't be right. We were just on Route 1. What happened to Route 2? Well, if you check the map, this is Route 22 to the left of Viridian City. Otherwise, it goes up to Route 23, and finally, Victory Road in the Indigo Plateau, where you fight the Elite Four. So, needless to say, it's gonna be a while before we properly come here. Still, there are Pokemon here for us to find and catch that are different. We need to pause real quick. So, should you continue beyond this tall grass here on Route 22, you'll encounter your rival. Now, they're going to battle you, and they'll have about, I believe, 2 Pokemon, both around level 9 or so. Admittedly, I got so excited and carried away just playing the game that I totally forgot to even show this fight off. So, if you want an optional rival encounter, continue on Route 22 once you're prepared. Otherwise, back to the episode. So, let's get to it. Come on, baby. Show us some new Pokemon. Well, that's a Rattata. Still, it is a higher level, so let's show off our new move, shall we? Leech Seed. Ow. There we go. Wild Rattata was seeded. So with Leech Seed, you seed an enemy, and it'll suck up HP and heal you every turn. It's pretty darn nice. Frankly, it's a great opening move, especially if you plan on switching out Pokemon or doing all sorts of different things. Now, we haven't really seen it, but when you switch out a Pokemon, it takes your turn. So you gotta keep that in mind and make smart plays. Pokemon's all about tactics. It may not seem like it, but you can get pretty darn advanced in these games, and there's a lot going on underneath the hood that you can't really see. So take my word for it. Something nice though about these games is that you can get as technical as you want, or you can just casually play them. There's no real bad part about it. Now look, obviously, if you plan on playing competitively, you're gonna really need to know your stuff. But if you don't plan on doing competitive play, then don't worry too much about it. You can get through most of these games pretty darn easily. Heck, a lot of people just only use their starter and get through basically the entire game. So, you know. Oh, there's Tackle missing. Oh well. What can you do? Still, hopefully we'll gain a level off this. Don't know if we will, but worth a shot. Hey, we do! Very nice. 2 HP, and 1 attack, defense, special defense, and speed. Very nice. Now, I suppose last time, I never really explained what all of the stats actually mean. Most of them are pretty standard game fare. The attack stat is your physical attack. Whenever you do a move such as, say, tackle, or any physical move like a punch or something, usually it'll use the attack stat. Defense is the corresponding defense stat. If you take a hit that uses physical, defense will reduce the amount of damage you take. Special attack and special defense are basically the same, just for what is essentially magic, quote unquote. Otherwise, speed is what's on the box, how fast you go. Basically, it determines if you go first or second in a turn. It's pretty self-explanatory, but I figured for anyone who's not savvy with RPGs, it might be helpful to explain that. Otherwise, HP or hit points are how much damage you can take before you faint. It's pretty easy, but hey, I figure a quick little explanation wouldn't hurt. Otherwise, I'm gonna be honest, I gotta keep this on fast. The battles just take way too long if I don't, so please forgive me. Otherwise, seems to be just a whole bunch of rats. Oh well. It's always a good idea to look in tall grass that you haven't been in before for any new Pokémon. You'd be surprised just what you can find and where you can find it. Hey, nice critical. Plus, too, beating up old Pokémon isn't a bad way to gain new experience. Generally, if you've seen them before, you know all their tactics and generally what they can do, so it's usually a pretty safe bet. Granted, in this game, wild Pokémon battles aren't the best way to gain experience. They're the easiest way, sure, but by no means are they the quickest. Eventually in our journey, we'll receive an item that really makes gaining experience way easier. Same with money, too. But it's gonna be a little while, so for now, just rely on wild Pokémon. Still, when you see trainer battles, I would always recommend fighting them. They'll give you way more experience than a wild Pokémon would, so it's generally worth your time. Otherwise, how's it going? Did Gramps get his coffee? I go shopping in Pewter City occasionally. I have to take the winding trail in Viridian Forest when I go. Right. How's it going, old man? You feeling better now?
Well, now I've had my coffee, and that's what I need to get going. Huh? Yeah, what is that red box you have? Ah, so you're working on your Pokedex. Then let me give you a word of advice. Whenever you catch a Pokemon, the Pokedex automatically updates its data. You don't know how to catch a Pokemon? I suppose I'd better show you then.
Well, we do already know how to catch Pokemon, but, you feel free to knock yourself out. This is a nice little tutorial that generally they show off in just about every single Pokemon game. It's nice if you don't know what you're doing, but it's largely superfluous. We know how to do it. Still, if this was your first time playing the game, then it's nice that they do this. Also, hey, he actually caught the Weedle. I don't believe he always catches it, so good for him.
There, now tell me, that was educational, was it not? And here, take this too.
Ooh, the Teachy TV.
If there's something you don't understand, watch that. It will teach you about the basics of being a Pokemon trainer.
So, like he says, if you ever need to know a little something about the game, the Teachy TV will help you out. It's a television set that is tuned to a program with useful tips for novice trainers. I don't really ever use this, but hey, if you ever feel the need, feel free. It'll teach you how to battle, teach you about status problems, type matchups, and how to catch Pokemon. Now, something we haven't gone over are type matchups, so let's give it a shot. Teachy TV!
Hey, all you trainers out there. Hello, trainers. Come on, let me hear you. Hello, trainers. It's me, the Pokedude. Does everyone know about type matchups? Pokemon and their moves all belong to certain types. For example, there are such types as grass and water. You need to consider the type of the move used to attack, and the type of the Pokemon that is hit by that attack. Depending on how those two types match up, the damage can change. You see, it depends on whether the type matching is good or bad. If you don't know how matchups works, battles will be tough. So, let me demonstrate exactly what I mean. Alrighty, here goes. Keep your eyes glued to the Super Pokedude show.
So here he's showing off a match with Poliwag and Oddish. He used a water-type move on a grass-type Pokemon. It's not very effective.
The move Bubble is a water-type attack. The targeted Oddish is a grass poison-type Pokemon. The water-type attack is absorbed by the grass-type Pokemon. As a result, the move becomes not very effective and inflicts only half the usual damage.
So, what he's saying is pretty true. It also makes a little noise to indicate that, hey, it may not be the best move. So, keep that in mind. Ooh, that sounded deadly, and it was super effective.
Uh-oh, this is not good. The Absorb attack you just saw is a Grass-type move. Poliwag is a Water-type Pokemon, so Absorb becomes super effective, doubling the damage.
That's right, super effective Pokemon deal double damage. It's pretty good.
It's not going to be easy to win with this matchup. Let's try shifting Pokemon.
Oh. He's got a Butterfree, does he? Sure, let's see what that does.
Shifting Pokemon in and out uses up one turn. Now it's the opponent's turn.
Just like I explained. See, hear that noise? Not very effective.
Butterfree is a bug flying type Pokemon. Against this Pokemon, a grass type attack inflicts only half the usual damage on a bug type Pokemon. And it also causes only half the damage on a flying type Pokemon. Therefore, Butterfree, being a bug flying Pokemon, only takes 1/4 of the usual damage.
That's right. If a Pokemon is double resistant, it only takes 1/4 of the damage. Just in the same way that if a Pokemon is double weak to a certain type, it'll take quadruple the damage. So keep that in mind.
Oddish is a grass poison type Pokemon. A flying or psychic type attack is super effective against it. One of those types of attacks will inflict double the usual damage. Okay, here we go.
So yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. Type matchups really make up the bread and butter of this entire game. If you know them, you'll be just fine. And if you don't, feel free to explore and really try things out. It'll make all the difference on your Pokemon journey.
Yeah, we won.
Ooh, and here we can see something else interesting. Any Pokemon that battles will receive a portion of the EXP in battle. Notably, if 2 Pokemon battle, then they'll both receive half. So on and so forth with 3 Pokemon, 4 Pokemon, 5, and even 6. It'll get divided equally amongst them all.
Is it possible to launch an attack that will inflict heavy damage? Does the opposing Pokemon pose a threat to your Pokemon? Is there any chance that it may have disastrously tough moves? Watch the type matchups to gain the upper hand. Alrighty, be seeing you. Oh, for the cool type Pokedude, awesome type kids like you match up perfectly. Remember, a good deed a day brings happiness to stay.
I couldn't have said it better myself. The end. So yeah, this is the TGTV. It's pretty useful. Like I said though, we're probably not going to be using it much. After all, I'm here to do effectively that same job. And hey, our first gym. The Viridian City Pokemon Gym. Cool. Can you tell us anything about it?
Hey, this Pokemon gym is always closed. I wonder who the leader is.
Always closed, huh? Well, that doesn't bode well. Heck, we just started our journey and already the first gym is closed? Yep, the doors are locked. Oh well. I suppose we'll just have to go somewhere else and find another gym. There could be worse things in life. Still, before we head out, let's go back to the Pokemart. After all, this guy was so busy we couldn't buy things. So, how's it going, dude?
Hi there. May I help you?
You sure may. So, let's buy some items. Here, he sells a whole variety of different things, from Pokeballs all the way down to Paralyze Heals. Obviously, they all have their different uses and can all be useful at some point. However, I personally want to buy, let's say, 10 Pokeballs. Sounds good to me.
Pokeball. You want 10. That'll be 2,000 Pokedollars, okay?
Sounds good to me.
Here you are. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Otherwise, we could use some of the other things, but I think we'll be fine. Frankly, throughout Pokemon, I usually buy as many Pokeballs as I can get. In fact, I plan on trying to catch every single Pokemon that we can naturally obtain in Pokemon Leaf Green. I say naturally. With Pokemon, there's been a time-long standing tradition of there being two different versions of each game. Obviously, Pokemon Leaf Green has its sister game, Pokemon Fire Red. In that game, you can encounter some slightly different Pokemon that we'll never see in this game naturally. We might see them in battle, sure, but we'll never be able to catch them or obtain them ourselves without the use of someone who actually has a copy of Pokemon Fire Red. So, sorry. If your favorite Pokemon happens to be on one or the other version, keep that in mind.
Is there anything else I can do?
Not for now. We don't have anything else to sell, so, well, I guess let's, hit the road, shall we? You know, I gotta say, it feels good heading out. What's this? Trainer tips. Catch Pokemon and expand your collection. The more you have, the easier it is to battle. Which is somewhat true. The more Pokemon you get, the more options you have for sure. Otherwise, what's this say? Route 2, Viridian City, Pewter City. Huh, sounds good to me. This seems much more like where we're supposed to be going. Ooh, new grass. You know what that means. Maybe there'll be new Pokemon. Well, it's just a friggin' Pidgey. That's not quite what I wanted. Oh well, Cabbage, give him the old tackle. Now something else I haven't mentioned. If you notice, Pokemon have little gender symbols. Cabbage is a male, as shown by the male boy symbol, and Pidgey was female, shown by the female symbol. This has a role in breeding later on in the game. You can make eggs with the right Pokemon and, you know, make new Pokemon. It's pretty involved, and I don't plan on really talking about it too much, especially because in this game, it comes in very late in the game. Still, it is something you can do, and originally in this game, it wasn't in it. At least, it wasn't in the first version of the Generation 1 games. Fire Red and Leaf Green are actually remakes. So, originally, it was Red and Blue on the Game Boy. Fire Red and Leaf Green were the remakes on the Game Boy Advance. Go figure. And, the first of many. There goes Cabbage scoring a critical hit and beating the Pokemon we want to catch. Go figure. Like I said, that's gonna happen a lot. So, I guess while we're trying to find another Weedle, I'll keep talking about it. Point is, originally, these games didn't have the egg system or breeding. This was introduced somewhere in Generation 2, which was on the Game Boy Color. Frankly, it's a pretty cool system, and like I said, it's very involved. That's why Pokemon have male or female. Still though, it's not entirely necessary to know to get through the games. In fact, like I said, in these games, you won't even encounter it until you're way later in the game. So don't worry about it too much. Granted, there are some moves that are gender specific, or at least that affect the other gender. So keep that in mind. Namely moves like Attract, which I believe will infatuate the target and make them unable to attack if they're infatuated. There's a whole different slew of moves like that frankly, they're alright, but they are situational. Otherwise, we got Weedle, number 13, the hairy bug Pokemon. I mean, it doesn't look too hairy to me. He looks spiky. Still, these are often found in forests, eating leaves. It has a sharp stinger on its head that injects poison. Yeah, no kidding. Want to give him a nickname? Nah, you're not someone I want for our team. Still, he is Weedle, so that's pretty cool. Otherwise, oops, did not mean to press select, but by pressing select, an item in the bag can be registered to select for easy use. It's pretty good. In fact, why don't we select our map for that? So, press A and register it. There you go. Now, when we press select, We can view the map anytime. Pretty convenient, huh? Still, what I wanted to do is take a look at dear old Cabbage. He's a little worse for wear, so I think at this point I'm gonna go heal and I'll meet you back right here. Be right back. Well, that was a fine little jog, but you may have been wondering, why did I walk past all these items over there? And what's this little shrub here? Well, this tree looks like it can be cut down, but we don't have a way to do that, so you can't get over there in the meanwhile, so don't worry about it for now. Otherwise, let's head on in here. How's it going? Rattata may be small, but don't underestimate its wicked bite. Have you caught one already? We sure have. And how about you? Are you going to Viridian Forest? It's a natural maze in there. Be careful you don't get lost. Seems pretty intense. Welcome to Viridian Forest. This is a pretty darn big place. Like they said, it really is a natural forest. So, hey there.
I came here with some friends to catch us some bug Pokemon. They're all itching to get into some Pokemon battles.
Oh, is that so? Well, I can't wait to meet them then. Trainer tips. Weaken Pokemon before attempting capture. When healthy, they may escape. And just as when they're damaged, they may also escape too. So it's not foolproof. Yeah, this place certainly is big. So, maybe before we get way too in over our heads, let's call it here. I think next time we play Pokemon Leaf Green, we'll explore Viridian Forest and hopefully make it to Pewter City. So, as always, I've been Brad. Thanks for watching and have a good one.